anything that involves cartoons.
Yes.
The Lady Eve.
Right, because it has animated opening titles.
The animated opening titles in this movie are great.
They
It
are.
it kind of made me think that it was a different sort of movie than it is, but
Well, like how so?
I don't know, a bit more cartoony and silly, and like it is a comedy, but it
It's
doesn't
pretty
have like
silly. It's not cartoony or silly like one of the other comedies that we watched. I'll say
right,
that much.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, smoothly animated cartoon snake with big eyes, doing a whole Adam and Eve kind of riff
Mhm.
for the imagery in the cartoon intro. Just the opening title cards,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I do feel like a lot of the movies that came out around this time tend to have like maybe some art in their opening title cards, but they're stationary. They're like, hey, here's like a
Bring it
tagline, or
back.
here's like a painting, right? I like how this is animated and it is actually like right, it's a movie. Have something moving.
Yeah, it gives a lot of life to what are just credits
Hmm.
otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, like lack of opening credits is a big gripe that I have with like all movies and TV now. Like opening credits are great, and I love them. And there's like so many things with like amazing opening credits, and now it's just like people are like, nope, skip, skip, skip. Sucks.
True.
Don't skip intro on Lady Eve.
God.
Thankfully, it's on Criterion Channel, which does not have a skip intro button.
I hope they're not doing that on movies now. Well, so this is about a guy who really loves snakes. It's really most of what he thinks about.
He's sort of the
Uh,
anti-Indiana Jones because he's the
right.
guy that goes to the jungle in the 1940s, but
Specifically looking for snakes.
right. He's all about snakes. He's like, show me where the snakes are. If he went to the Well of Souls, he'd be in heaven.
It's kind of funny that like this guy, you gotta wonder if there is some kind of light coding that like there's a lot of this movie that he spends resisting female attention.
Oh, because he's too
uh
interested in snakes.
Maybe, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if that was like a coding thing, this would be the era for it, right? It would be like a
Right,
Hays Code thing. I will say the good transition into I think this is a Hays Code movie and it's a romantic comedy.
right.
I think this is a very good example of like the Hays Code kind of making a movie not necessarily hornier, but like kind of making the movie hotter than it would be otherwise. Like there's
Right.
so much kind of like
The suggestion.
suggestion, a lot of making eyes. Yeah, it's like going right up to the line that they were allowed to do, but that kind of like that restraint, I think, gives it a lot of life and a lot of they like the way that they sort of circumvent the rules end up kind of working in the movie's favor in this instance. I think.
Yeah, and you speak about like, the effective sensuality of this movie, and I think compared to a lot of other sort of similar screwball comedy, romantic comedy type deals, like this one is there's definitely a lot of good jokes, but it's not like joke a minute, it is kind of
It's
trying to lean
less
more into the romanticism of it.
yes, it is definitely less kind of madcap than something like
Bringing Up Baby is a good example.
his like yeah, or his girl Friday. Those movies that are like you like miss jokes because of how fast they're talking.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more paced like humans speak. It's not like as insanely just like throwing stuff at you. Like as much as I love those other kind of the like Howard Hawks romantic comedies, this is Preston Sturges, another big '40s comedy guy. I appreciate how much this one feels like it is kind of doing its own thing, also. And yeah, I think the both the leads, Barbara Stanwyck and Henry Fonda, are both very good in it. Henry Fonda is
Yeah.
definitely I don't think of as like a comedic actor really, but I almost feel like the way that he's very dry in this movie. He's kind of like the hapless put upon character. He isn't the one who's like making a lot of goofy jokes. It's more things happening to him.
Yeah.
But I think he plays that very well, where he's just sort of like, oh, again. like he feels very like he's just kind of being pulled through the movie almost against his will a lot of the time.
That's true. Yeah, it is like yeah, him kind of having stronger forces than him
Mhm.
than himself kind of dictating his existence. And there's like what is it? God, having a hard time remembering. There's like
He just wants to research snakes. That's all he's in it for at the beginning.
but yeah, there's like some back and forth about like whether Barbara Stanwyck's character he's rich, which is the opposite of his role in our last episode.
True,
Uh,
yeah. He's really
but
switching gears here.
there's there's a lot of back and forth about whether Barbara Stanwyck's character is trying to just get him for his money. I think part of the reason why he feels really jaded and uninterested by all of the women around him is because so many of them are just kind of transparently after
Mhm.
his wealth,
Yeah,
and so he can't even like he can't even pay attention to any of them.
yeah.
And so like the one who gets through to him is the one that sort of negs him.
But it is like it's kind of a classic. I don't know if it was a classic thing at this point, but like the con artist story where like, oh, I gotta seduce this guy for his money, and then she ends up kind of actually falling for him, and that's like you never fall in love with your mark, you know, and then
It's the same sort of thing as in like Mr. Deeds or
yeah, yeah,
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, where
hmm
there's like the ideal the simple the simple man
yeah,
who is at first manipulated uh by a woman, and then she falls for him, and then there's this tension of like how do I reconcile that you were trying to trick me before, but we really do love each other.
yeah. I feel like that element is like cranked way up in this, as opposed. I feel like the Frank Capra movies are a little bit more feel a little bit more innocent, whereas this is very much she is like, oh no, she is a criminal. She is conning him to get his money. There's a little bit more kind of I don't know, not animosity, but it's a little pricklier than those movies are.
Well, and they also spend a lot of time in this movie, like really being upset at each other and not wanting to have
Right.
anything to do with each other once that happens. There is this kind of back and forth like of like, can I trust this person? Like, has this
Mhm.
person broken my heart? And so you spend a lot of time in this movie of them really wanting to be back together, like internally wanting to be back together, but then um on the surface being upset with each other.
Mhm. Which I don't know. I think it is like it's a pretty. It's kind of there's like the two big set pieces. There's like the stuff on the boat, which is like the first half of the movie, and like the stuff in the mansion, the second half.
Mhm.
And it's like the all the like mistake. I don't fully remember all the mistaken identity twists and turns because there's a lot of them. But I don't know, it leads to it's a lot of good like physical comedy in this too. Like all the I like the joke of his tuxedo getting ruined like 3 times. He has to keep putting on new tuxedos because he's like spilling food on them. There was also a lot of I was kind of not surprised, but I guess took note of how many like direct references to World War II are in this movie.
I was about to say, yeah, yeah.
Someone makes a like very thinly veiled Hitler joke. They mention someone traveling by battleship, sort of as a joke.
Yeah, and also talking about what, like a transatlantic kind of pleasure cruise, and someone saying like, I didn't know that the boats were still running like
Mhm.
between you know, the east coast of
Which
America and Europe.
I don't think that they were is the thing, and I think that that's the movie's way of addressing that. Like, I know this movie is being released in 1941 when like we can't use boats anymore because there are submarines everywhere. But like, we're just gonna kind of try to gloss over it.
You gotta the show must go on, I guess.
Yeah. There's a couple of lines in this that really stuck out to me of like great, just like 40s dialogue stuff. Just like the language of it. One of them is when God, what's her name? Not Eve. Eve is her fake name.
Hmm. Gene.
Barbara Stanwyck, Jean, first sees Henry Fonda's character. she says he's dripping with dough, which is a great way of saying that he's rich. That fella's dripping with dough. And then later, when she's pissed at somebody, she says, "Go peel an eel." Which I want to, I definitely want to steal that, start saying that when I'm annoyed at something. Go peel an eel.
There are so many 30s and 40s turns of phrase that I really just keep wanting to integrate into my life, but you need to I don't know. I wonder if it's just that like because these characters are written on a page that they're able to speak like this because
It's
like
partially
I
that for sure.
can
Yeah.
never remember to say go peel an eel, you know.
Simpler things are easy to remember, like why I oughta and make it snappy,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But yeah, go peel an eel is just a great use of language. But yeah, fun movie. I don't know if I have a whole lot else to say about it. I also watched it like 4 months ago,
Yeah.
which I think you did
Yeah,
too, right?
pretty close to it. Yeah. I watched it before I moved, certainly.